No more changing vectors.
Hello, me again. Hello everybody, Flash Notion back with another reaction video of My Little Pony, and I just lost track of what I was saying for a moment. But today we're watching Season 8, Episode 7. Or, no, Episode 8, oh my god. Sorry, it's Episode 177 overall, so I got confused for a moment. Anyways, the title of this one is The Parent Map. And yeah, that's a pretty interesting title. It's obviously a reference to The Parent Trap, though I don't know if that's going to carry over to the episode itself. The Parent Trap was a movie, I believe it starred Lindsay Lohan? I don't remember. Some blonde actress from way back when. And there were like twins, and they switched places and confused the hell out of their parents. I don't know how that would work in MLP, but whatever. The title, including the word parent in it, makes me think of the fact that we're supposed to be getting an episode with Starlight's parents, and I'm wondering if that might be this one. And if it is, that would be amazing, because hopefully an episode with Starlight's parents will expand on her backstory a little bit and make her even more sympathetic. But I don't know. The one thing that I do know is that from both the opening frame here as well as the thumbnail, this episode seems to take place in the Crystal Empire, which could be interesting. I mean, Sunburst lives there, so yeah. Other than that, I've got nothing. Last week's episode was so amazing. It freaking broke me, man. I was giggling and laughing like a madman for like 3 hours afterwards. But hopefully this week's is good. Maybe not as good, but hopefully still good enough. And of course we won't know until I get started, so let's get started. We will start the episode in 3, 2, 1, play. Spike the Great, Brave and Glorious. There we go. Oh? Who's this? Oh, hey, Sunburst house. He doesn't like talking to Sunburst.
Morning, Sunburst. What? Oh!
Yeah, that's me.
No matter how many times I read it, Winham's Guide to Magical Arcana never gets boring.
If you say so. I've got another letter for you from Sire's Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Sire's Hollow? Is that the town where Starlight and Sunburst were from? That's a nice little name. Oh, wow. Okay, so, I'm guessing that he's been ignoring his parents a little bit. Oh!
What's this?
Well, that's...
Could I be experiencing the cerebration transmogrification effect described in Chapter 17?
No, you're being called by the freaking map!
My cutie mark is glowing! I know what this means!
I don't know, but it's freaking adorable. The fact that his design basically makes him look like he's wearing socks, of course, makes it even more adorable. So, maybe it's not a problem with his parents, maybe it's a problem with Starlight and her parents. That could be interesting, like he's being called upon to solve it. I mean, it would make sense. You know, a lot of people were upset, or have been upset a little bit, about the map expanding outward and calling on various other ponies, but I think it actually makes for a lot better episodes with the map. It allows for more variance in how the ponies approach the problem and whatnot.
Princess Twilight, what an honor this is.
I mean, that must have been a hell of a trip, though, with his ass glowing the entire time.
You sure are, and it must be a special one. No pony outside of Ponyville has ever been called before.
That's true.
If you need some pointers, let me know. I have my fair share of missions.
Spike, you've done one that we know of.
One, Spike.
And that's my fair share.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Starlight! You mean we've both been called? This is great!
Ah, okay.
Great.
They're going home.
Aren't you excited? You and me, on a mission, together!
She would be if it weren't for where they're
Sorry,
going.
Not excited to go on a mission with me?
No. No, I mean, yes. Totally excited about us going together. Just not so excited
Going
about
together.
where.
They're going home.
Sire's Hollow?
Yep.
They both hate home.
You know, I can go if you two don't want to. I am kind of an expert.
Shut up, Spike. Wow. This is interesting. Like, why are they so upset, you know?
It's not that I don't want to go home. It's just that whenever I do, my dad treats me like a filly. Like nothing has changed since I was a foal.
That's how parents kind of always are, I guess.
No. My mom actually does kind of the same thing.
Oh.
Really?
I don't even have to go home. She sends me
One has a dad, one has a mom.
asking about my plans
Interesting.
for the future. You're a grown-up pony, Sunburst. You need a plan. I haven't been home in a while either.
Just have to explain to our parents that we're on an important friendship mission, so they can't bother us.
Do you think that will work?
Nope.
Doubly so because I'm pretty darn sure that your parents are the mission. That's a tiny ass little train station too.
Great thing about home is it always stays just how you left. Oh!
Nope.
Where did that come from?
Welcome to Sire's Hollow.
It's now a gated community?
Essence?
Essence of what?
You tell me. What is it?
Chocolate? Maybe?
Not chocolate, maybe. Chocolate, definitely. And all of the benefits with none of the drawbacks.
Interesting.
Didn't this used to be a fruit stand?
I don't know what it used to be. The Sire's Hollow Development Committee determined what it is.
The
Oh my god.
Development what? Where do
You can get a fruit smoothie 2 doors down.
This is going to be ridiculous.
shops are different. Everything's changed.
This is what happens when you don't go home.
That's the same as it ever was.
Ah, huh. What is it?
Sorry. Our bookstore has been declared a site of historical significance by the Sire's Hollow Preservation Society.
You'll have to experience the books from here. That's why windows are see-through.
What?
Preservation
That's
Society?
kind of stupid.
What's happening around here?
I'll explain it to you, Sugar Plum. You are just as cutesy-wootsy as ever.
Quit it. What is going on?
I wonder what would have happened if she brought Trixie back here.
Town's rich history for his little
I kind of want to see that now.
Dad, you promised no pumpkin wumpkins in public.
Sorry, chipmunk cheeks.
Don't.
I'm.
The whole
I can't even do it. What is this?
What I told him. I said, Firelight, you're crazy.
Firelight.
Mom?
Our village needs the same thing you do, Sunburst. A clear plan for the future.
Do not
Why, I
touch
started Sire's
the beard.
Development
Damn
Committee,
it.
And I've got plans for this little town. Big plans.
Listen here, Stellar Flare. I'm not gonna let you turn our historical heritage into Las Pegasus.
That's a.
And I'm not going to let you turn it into a museum.
Wait.
Hmm.
Are you two fighting over this?
Like having a friendship problem?
Oh, there's no problem.
Because there is no friendship.
And here's where they realize, and they're just like, crap. But so yeah, we got a conflict between the old and the new, and
Maybe I
not
should have sent
willing to compromise, and nobody wants to live in the present. Starlight's directness is going to be awesome.
A job, and it looks like you two are it.
You mean your success depends on us?
And you have to hang out with us the whole time you're here?
I can see them prolonging the issue just so that their kids stay around.
Don't make sense.
Aww.
Welcome to Sire's Hollow.
So we can't hold the books?
No.
Can you hold the books?
No.
So no pony can read the books?
Isn't she adorable?
Then what's the point of the books? Also, that pony with dark hair and whatnot.
You can call them smells, but I call them essence.
Oh my god.
Fruity.
Too bad there's nowhere to get actual fruit.
In the future, all ponies will drink their fruit.
Oh my god, I'm reminded of, what is it,
100% ancient pony grains, just like the town founders ate. Hope you like crust.
Anyways, I was gonna say, that reminded me of, Wall-E, where it's like, in the future, everybody drinks smoothies instead of actually eating stuff.
Welcome to Sire's Hollow. Welcome to Sire's... Okay, it's annoying. I get it.
Yes!
My preservation efforts were a little over the top.
And
Good
I
thing.
might have been trying to turn the town into a shopping mall.
Just a little bit.
Whatever direction the town takes from now on, how about we work together on it?
Deal.
Well, that's a little convenient.
You should move closer to Ponyville. After this success, I'm sure the Princess of Friendship will want to send you on more missions.
That's not really how it works. Oh, look at the time! We should get going now that we've solved the friendship.
Their butts aren't glowing. They haven't solved a damn thing.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think we did solve it. When we solve a friendship problem, our cutie marks are supposed to glow.
Aw, don't be disappointed, Puddin'. Your papa will work this out for you.
My papa wasn't called by the map in Twilight's castle. I was.
Okay, so is another part of it them having to stand up to their parents here a little bit?
To the princess. What's your plan if she fires you from friendship quests?
Mom, she doesn't. It's not.
Use your words, Sunburst.
Okay, he's...
I guess you two.
Okay, I can really relate to them both in this situation a little bit.
You don't even know why you're here? We have to figure this out before we run out of time.
Mom, there isn't a time limit.
So you're here for an extra long visit? You can stay in your old room, Honky Wonk. It's just...
Oh, this is gonna end badly. This is gonna be like... Whoa! Emo Starlight room, that's amazing. I'm gonna need a screenshot of that.
Now, I know you have your little job to do, but Stella and I know the town a lot better than you two.
That's right. Neither of you have been home in ages. You're gonna need our help to succeed.
Oh my god.
Guess that makes sense.
Oh, this is so painful for me. That's so awesome.
I think I liked it better when they were fighting.
Oh god, that hippie beard.
Okay.
The hell.
Now that I've explained how Sire's Hollow was founded, we can start to explore all the possible friendship problems that might have developed over
I like that the chalk fell off. That's a nice little thing.
I appreciate the history lesson, Dad, but I need to find the problem now.
So her dad's a historian,
Aw, now, hun,
and his mom's like a developer, a real estate developer.
Oh,
Pretty interesting,
I know how hard it is for you to sit
characters.
still and focus, so Would it help you pay attention to hold on to your blankie?
Aww. Okay, that might end up being my thumbnail.
Don't worry, I know exactly what you need to do.
Make a
No, you don't.
Already got one. Step 1, interview the suspects.
She's insufferable somehow.
Solve the issue. Step 3, get the Princess of Friendship to send you on more missions.
This isn't his job. He's a crystaller.
does not work like that.
He's basically like Flurry Heart's mentor slash godfather. Like that's mostly more or less what his job is.
Oh, thank goodness you are here. These two ponies refuse to use my essences.
Maybe because we don't like to cover our natural scent.
Okay. Gross.
And she refuses to buy our books.
Surely this is a friendship problem.
It's definitely something.
It needs to be a real friendship problem. You can't just make one up. Ugh.
This is what happens when we don't rehearse. Ugh.
God, she reminds me of Starlight when she was a villain, which is
I found a
bad.
town bylaw that no pony agrees on. Apparently, we're not supposed to prance or canter after dinner time. Could that be the problem? Silly Philly?
No, definitely not. But it should be removed. Hiding.
Hiding from my mother. She started making up friendship problems for me to solve.
My dad won't even let me talk to any pony in case they're strangers. I'm a grown mare.
You're never going
This
to
is
find
amazing.
a problem with them around, let alone solve it.
Maybe you two should start looking for it on your own.
Oh. So, yeah, it's interesting that they both kind of have aspects of Starlight when she was in a villain
Just to see
in
if
the
there were
state.
issues any of you had with your friends.
Got it. Just one question. Why are we whispering?
Good question. Where are you as well?
Their parents.
Of course.
No, not avoiding, just taking a break.
Yeah, we needed to.
I think everybody in town knows how your parents are, considering they've basically been running the town.
You're whispering with all of us in the darkest corner of the shop, where no pony can possibly see because you're not avoiding them.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely can't hear us in here, right?
No way! This is the antiquities section. No pony ever comes back here.
There you are! But what are you doing in here? Is the friendship problem in my favorite section of the bookstore?
Oh my god!
And then, I thought the best way to look for a friendship problem in the present
Dad!
was to look back in our town history even farther.
Sunburst!
I know that sound all too well. I make it all the time.
Up a problem. But what if I start one?
That's not how this...
I mean, no pony ever became a success by following all the rules, right?
She does, with her hair, she kind of looks like well, they all look like they kind of have some Crystal Empire ancestry in them.
Really are providing excellent
Interesting.
assistance, aren't we?
Guys!
I dare say our children should be grateful for our help.
We're not!
We don't want your help!
Okay, and here we go.
I'm sorry. You don't want our help?
Not much time left, but enough that I think we can get a good resolution out of this.
Because you're driving us crazy!
Oh, really? And just how am I driving you crazy?
By always coming up with plans! I don't need a plan! I mean, maybe I do, but it'll be mine, not yours!
Well, I'm sorry for trying to help.
Ouch.
And you're not any better. I'm not a filly. I'm a grown pony with a job to do, and I'll do it on my own.
Well, I'll let you get to it then.
Well, he's a bit more dignified about it, but...
Great. Now we have to smooth things over with our parents on top of finding and solving a friendship problem.
It's almost like our relationship with our parents is the friendship problem.
You don't think that's it, do you?
I think it might be.
That's what all of us think.
Oh my god.
Why couldn't we have been sent to stop a war or something?
Oh my god.
Dad?
Hello, Ms.
Oh my god, he's using a blanket to do it. That's kind of bad.
Only ask as an interested observer, since I know you are an adult who's capable of doing things without help from any pony else.
Aww.
Lee, I think Sunburst and I figured out what it is.
So, Stellar and I weren't really helpful after all.
Well, we haven't actually solved it, and I don't think we can. Not without you.
Oh, did you come by to be driven crazy by more of your mother's plans?
No, I came to apologize.
I think her pearls are...
Well,
Like, her design, her pearls should be over top of the other bit on her neck.
you don't
But whatever.
help finding your friendship problem.
Oh, I'm not sorry for that. Starlight and I already figured out what the problem is.
This is a terrible apology.
If you come with me and help fix it,
Oh my
maybe
god.
you'll better one.
Usually, Twilight or one of our other friends gets called to a place with a friendship problem to fix.
But Starlight and I realized we came here to fix a friendship problem we already had.
I'm sorry I've been avoiding coming home, Dad, but you keep treating me like a foal.
I'm sorry, Sugar Bun. I just know how hard things were for you when you left home. I guess I wanted you to feel safe, like when you were young.
Dad, I know
Aww.
I made mistakes, and I'll probably make a bunch more, but I learned from them. I think that's what growing up is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I never told you how much your plans bothered me, and I know you just want me to succeed, but I need to do that on my own.
I remember how lost you were when you flunked out of magic school. I thought, as long as you had a plan, you'd never feel that way again.
You don't have to worry, Mom. I need to find my own way. I definitely don't feel lost anymore.
And there they go. Okay, there's some bit wrong about that, but, like, his mom lifting up his robe to look at his butt, that's just weird. Oh my god, that guy. That guy.
It's such a symbol of accomplishment. I don't suppose there's a way for you to get it to glow all the time.
Stop looking at his butt.
Pretty sure it doesn't work that way.
Not unless we solved a friendship
Oh my
problem
God.
every few seconds, and I kind of hope this one will be it for a while.
You know,
You and the fans both.
he's saying we're not just your parents. We're your friends, too.
I guess so.
Parents primarily, though.
If I promise to treat you less like a little filly and more like a friend, will you visit more?
I have a problem with that. Talk about that in a minute.
If you start to drive me crazy again, I'll tell you instead of never coming home.
That's a-
lovely of you to say
Okay,
that.
that's a good
But
one.
You know, I can always visit you.
That's true.
Stellar, you're a genius!
Oh
About a road trip.
I might have a few plans for that.
my god. Oh my god. They're like, get us out of here. Okay. This was a cute episode. This is a cute episode, definitely. I'm not sure where I'm gonna rank it. I'll have to watch it a couple more times to figure that out, but yeah. This was definitely good. Now, I do have to take a bit of a break here in my recording, so once this music finishes up and everything, all the credits are over, I'm gonna pause, go do some stuff, and think about this a little bit, and okay, I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. So, this episode really was kind of a parent trap for me, in that it ended up making me think a lot about my own parents. yeah, my relationship with my parents is not great, which is like in and of itself like not a good thing because I live with my mother still. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that first. So for all of you who have seen my season 7 finale video, I reacted with my mother to that one, and that was a very awkward video that I'm honestly not sure about. Like, I like the fact that I made it, but I kind of wish that I hadn't. I kind of wish that I just reacted to it on my own. Because when my mother's around, I don't feel like I can be myself. And it's not a very good thing. Our relationship is not particularly healthy, I don't think. I'm not sure what you'd call it. I've thought before that it might be borderline codependent, but I don't know. All I know is that I know I personally cannot care for myself outside. Like, there are things that I need to learn how to do that I have not, and until I do, I can't live on my own, or even with like a roommate. So there are issues there. But beyond that, just watching this episode, watching Sunburst and Starlight deal with their parents felt very familiar, because my mother and me, part of the reason why we don't get along is that we are just so different as people. We have different priorities. We think different things are important. When I watch this show and I talk about it, I consider it to be very important. It's just there's so much that you can take away from it. There are layers. It's a big deal to me. This show is a huge part of my life. It didn't used to be, obviously, back before I started watching it, but once I started watching it, it kind of just grew into this thing that has, well, honestly, consumed a large part of my life, and I'm not unhappy about that. I like this show. But my mom doesn't have that with anything. My mom she's honestly a workaholic. She goes to work, and I don't know when she leaves, but sometimes she doesn't get home until like 5 o'clock at night, and even after that, she'll sometimes take phone calls from work. On the rare days when she does come home earlier, it's so that she can work out of the house on her computer, which she always used to hate, being on the computer. I mean, she still kind of does, but now she's on it all the time for work. And it's like when she's not working, she's either going out and shopping and like working in that way, like working on stuff for the house, or she's doing yard work, or the only other thing that she does is she'll sometimes just sit down in front of the TV a little bit and watch random TV shows, like crime dramas and whatnot. Which, I mean, yeah, that's fine, but it's like, she doesn't have anything like this. Like, anything that from what I can tell, she doesn't have a passion, which is kind of unfortunate. She assigns so much importance to her work and what she does there, which I guess makes her work her passion, except she complains so often about her job. She's complained about every job that she's ever had, as far as I can tell, but I don't know. Just, there's a difference on what the two of us think is important, and it leads to a lot of conflict that has no real resolution. I just don't think that the same thing she thinks is, like, the yard work. I hate doing the yard work. Just yesterday, I had to go out and do some weed eating, and there's a part that has to be mowed by push mower instead of by the riding mower. And like, I hate doing that. I hate doing it. It's just such an annoyance to have to do that. I don't like walking through grass that scratches my ankles and stuff in the summer, but at the same time, it's just like, why is this a necessary thing, you know? And obviously she just doesn't understand that. She doesn't understand that she doesn't understand why I don't like it. I mean, I don't understand why I don't like it for the most part, but at the same time, it's just, you get what I'm saying, right? There's a conflict there in what we place importance on. I would much rather stay here in my room and work on videos like this than go out and do yard work or even go to my own job, my actual job. I'd rather not. I mean, I do because I need the money, but I'd rather not. And it's pretty much impossible to bridge that gap right now. It's just very difficult. And when we do end up shouting at each other, much like what happened with Starlight and Sunburst here, it doesn't end well. Like, there's no coming back and having a good resolution for it. And I think, honestly, it's not, like, I'm not going to blame either of us here. Like, we do both share some of the blame, but just, quite honestly, I'm scared of her. The only reason why I did that Season 7 video, like, she was coming off of an illness at the time. She was really mellowed out, and she didn't say much during the video. You should hear, like, she really didn't talk that much, which was part of the mellowness, but, like, when she's mellow coming off from a sickness like that, it's like one of the only times when I feel like she's actually approachable as a person, or, well, not as a person, as my mother. Like, with everybody else in the whole world, as far as I can tell, she is completely approachable. Everybody just comes up to her and is like, oh, you're such a good person, we can all come to you with our problems, and everything like that. And it's just like, I can't do that. I'm scared of her when she's not mellowed out after an illness. And that means that when I do screw up, or when we do get into a bit of a shouting match, I can't just easily go back and apologize. Even when I know that I was the one in the wrong, I can't. It's not easy for me. A few times I've been able to be like, okay, let's rather than wasting time on words which are hard for me out loud, talking to people like that, I've written it down and given her like a little letter, and that seems to smooth things over a little bit. But it's like, I can't just go up and talk to her and apologize the way that Starlight and Sunburst did with their parents. I'm just scared, and I don't know why. I mean, I am a grown-up pretty much, and I should be able to stand up to her, my mom. I should be able to talk to her like a normal human being, but I just can't, and it's frustrating for me. And that just makes it all worse, doesn't it? So, yes, this episode really hit home, and just the sounds of frustration as Starlight and Sunburst were talking to their parents, and the way they were just moaning and groaning about it, and this almost screams, like, it's so familiar to me because I make those noises so often. I'm just like, why? Why is this happening? And yeah, I mean, in a way, it's entertaining to see that, to see characters struggle in a way that I'm familiar with. On the other hand, it's frustrating for me because it's like, no, I don't want to see them going through that. I know what it's like, and I know how horrible it is, and I don't want that to happen to these characters that I like. So, yeah, good and bad there. And obviously, that's just me talking about my mother. My father is a whole nother can of worms there, which actually I can bring up here as well, because like it seems like they were both missing a parent. No mom for Starlight and no father for Sunburst. Kind of makes me wonder what happened there. As far as absentee parents go, we've gotten more or less. Well, we've had it. How long can I put this? Show staff, one of them has said that Jackpot, Trixie's father, may not even know that he has a daughter. That she may have been the product of a one-night stand. So, I mean, that means that stuff like that is possible in Pony World, which I wouldn't have thought of before this, but apparently it is. That kind of sucks. So it may be that Sunburst has never known his father. It may be that his mother is the only parent he's ever had. or it may just be that his father has died. That with Applejack's parents, that's kind of been the implication. So, I mean, it's possible. Or it may be something else. Maybe they're divorced, and they just don't talk to one another anymore. That could also be possible there. We've seen that separation is definitely a thing in Equestria and beyond with that CMC episode there, Surf and or Turf. So there are different possibilities here for what could be going on with both Sunburst's side and on Starlight's side right there, and we don't know, but it's probably something that's going to get speculated about a fair amount, I think. I feel like everybody's going to have their own ideas about where are their other parents, like what happened there. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing if anybody that I follow on FiM Fiction actually puts out a story like that, or if it's just going to remain this bit of headcanon that we all just kind of form our own ideas about. Or if maybe this is something that somebody from the show has already addressed in a manner that I'm not aware of. Maybe there's going to be a post on Equestria Daily about, like, okay, here's what is officially happened to these characters' parents or whatever. I don't know. But aside from the whole parent issue here with this episode had another huge section here where it's like, okay, going back to your childhood home. And I find that really interesting because every time I think about going back to where I grew up, man, I don't know. It feels weird, More specifically, about, how long has it been now? 3 years? 4 years? I don't know. A few years back, we moved away from the town where I had grown up. And just... Well, the place where I spent most of my time was at school. And after I graduated, I went past the school a few times and I noticed that they were remodeling. And so it always was kind of on my mind, like, well, what's the inside of the school look like now? If I went back into these schools, would I recognize the place? And the answer I keep coming up with is most likely, no, I wouldn't. Because things have changed. And that's kind of inevitable. And it makes me think, like characters, people that I knew back in my hometown. I mean, I suppose most of them were, characters in the sense that they're all just so oddball a little bit. My town was a little bit backwoods, a little bit out of the way. It was full of weird people, odd people, people that I didn't necessarily want to talk to. But no, things did change over the years a fair amount, and just I haven't been back there in a few years, and so going back there and seeing what's changed, who has moved away, who has stayed, who has moved into there, and like what houses have been put up, what houses have been torn down, what businesses have gone in there, what businesses have left. It's all quite a bit of change, and it's just very odd to think about. Like going home, going to your childhood place, going to where you grew up and where a good chunk of my life was spent at this point. I've spent more time there than I have here. Granted, it feels like I've never left here, like I've always been here right now, but at the same time, if I were to go back to where I had been, it would feel so different. My computer is acting up a little bit here, and it's kind of frustrating. But, no, it's just, it reminds me of that song, I believe it was Bon Jovi that recorded it, Who Says You Can't Go Home, like, how does it go? Who says you can't go back? Been all around the world, and as a matter of fact, there's only one place left I wanna go. Who says you can't go back? Who says you can't go back? I don't know. I might screw that up. I always screw it up. Whatever, but you get the idea, right? Going home is like there's a lot of nostalgia to it, and I don't know. I feel like it's something that I definitely want to do in another couple years, maybe. But like, it's a weird thing, you know. And I kind of look forward to it, and I kind of look forward to some of the other reactors weighing in on this, because most of the other reactors that I watch are older than me, so they kind of would have had an opportunity to do that sort of thing, to go back to their childhood homes and maybe see things have changed. And they probably have already been through a period in life where they were away from home, either for college or work or something else. I don't know. But it seems like something that all of them would have already gone through, and so maybe by listening to them, I'll get some ideas. I don't know. But it'll be interesting. And in that way, another little issue that this episode brings up, kind of tangential, or like that last one kind of leads into it, is the conflict between the new and the old. My town that I lived in is kind of old. Like the school was built, I don't remember if it was either late 1800s or early 1900s there. So it's old. It's been there for well over 100 years now, and it's wow, you know. It's just hard to think about, like, well, it's all so old, and now you might bring in some new stuff, and what happens then? What happens when you put this new stuff in with the old? Does the old stuff get replaced by the new stuff? Is that good or is that bad? It's all up for debate, you know? Personally, I do feel like there are some things that should not change. Certain sites should be declared like a historical site, and they shouldn't change. Where I'm living right now, there are a number of old historical sites, which is fair. But, you know, like, there's also a lot of semi-old buildings that are not in the best of shape that really need to get torn down, and, you know, the space can be used for something new and better. And a lot of people might not like that, but it's for the best. And, you know, it will have an overall benefit to the town, to the people. So, like, I don't agree with maybe bulldozing in a very old house where somebody, you know, used to live. I don't necessarily agree with, like, a corporation buying up a family home in order to put a new store there when they already have, you know, so many other stores, including one that's relatively nearby. You know, there are types of development that are bad, but there are also types that are good. So it's a case-by-case basis, and in this case particularly, though, it was definitely overboard. Like she said, she was basically trying to turn the entire town into a shopping mall, which was bad. Or as Starlight's dad compared it, to Las Pegasus, which would be bad. But I think there's also another element to that little conflict there between the two of them, is that neither of the parents, neither were living in the present. Starlight's dad, he was so focused on the past, he couldn't see that his daughter had grown up, and that's bad. I'm going to say that word a lot. Meanwhile, Sunburst mom was always looking to the future and couldn't see that her son was perfectly content where he is, and couldn't see that compared to what he had been in the past, he was doing really well, and that's bad. And so you kind of get it both ways. You know, looking too much into the future is not a good thing. Looking too much into the past is not a good thing. So, you know, you kind of got to mellow that out a little bit and actually live in the present a little bit. I myself am guilty of kind of all three of them. There are things in my past that I can't let go of. There are things that I want to do in the future that might be a little bit impractical. And just all too often I'm just complacent living in the present and not trying to improve in any way. And as Starlight said, you know, you got to recognize your mistakes and what you've done wrong in order to actually grow up and mature and move forward. So you do need a little bit of living in the past, and Sunburst acknowledged that he needs to come up with his own plan, so, planning for the future. It's not a bad thing in and of itself. You do need aspects of all three, like being content with where you are, at least temporarily. That's how you kind of get a little bit of happiness out of that or whatever, and it's a good thing. But don't just let it keep you there forever. I'm starting to get a sore throat here. I'm talking for quite a while on this one. But I think I'm nearing the end of possible topics that I could really talk about. I do want to mention the background pony design, or the side character, I guess, pony designs for this one. They were all pretty interesting and pretty nice. The darker furred, I want to say, like the pony, the librarian pony there with a darker coat, and the bright hair like that, it kind of reminded me of that, for the Powerpuff Girls reboot, they came up with, I forget what her name was, but the fourth Powerpuff Girl that everybody kind of hated. It, that pony's design kind of reminded me of her. Only it works better for a pony, I think, or at least it would have worked better if she wasn't wearing that really light colored jacket, I guess. But whatever. And it grew on me as the episode progressed. And the Baker pony, he was really funny. I like him. One thing that I did notice, though, about all of the ponies in this village, they all really definitely seem to have some Crystal Empire-ish hairstyles, which is kind of weird. Like, I know that according to the comics or something, Princess Cadance is supposed to be, descended from the Crystal Empire somehow. So, obviously, ponies from the Crystal Empire migrated out into the rest of Equestria back before Sombra was banished. But it kind of makes you wonder, how does that work? It's crazy to think about just how much history and lore there is to the show and how it can all be intertwined. And so, kind of gotta wonder, is this village the only village like that? Is this just a colony of Crystal Empire refugees, or what the heck going on there? And thinking about it, is this village where Cadance grew up, or is there another village similar to it where Cadance grew up? I don't know. But, hey, something to think about. And if anybody out there doesn't see it, what I mean is, all of their manes have this very sharp, have either a very sharp or a very smooth look to them. If you go and you look at a lot of other ponies' manes, ponies that are not from the Crystal Empire, a lot of their manes have a very, jagged or feathery kind of look to them. They have hair that just isn't very smooth, I want to say. Their manes are just not very smooth. I don't know how else to put that, but there's definitely a design difference. Whereas ponies from the Crystal Empire and ponies from this village, their manes are just very, very smooth or very sharp cornered. You look at and also the colors, the two-tone contrasting, high contrast colors and all that, very sharply defined. You can see it, right? Y'all can see it. I don't know. But I definitely think I've talked long enough about this episode. It was a good episode. I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. No, I don't know where I'm ranking it right now. But speaking of rankings, I have kind of come up with a episode ranking. I kind of forgot to check out my bingo here, so I'm going to have to look at that now. But, yes, last week's episode, Horseplay, is my absolute favorite for this season so far. After that, it's episode 5, then 6, then the premiere, then 4, with 3 at the bottom. Where this one fits into it, it's probably definitely going to be in the upper half, but I don't know anything other than that. And for some reason the photo isn't loading now. we'll retry that. Come on, Season 8 bingo. What do you got here? Okay, no, nope, 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 and nope. Okay, nothing on the bingo card gets checked off this time. That's a lot of nopes. Oh boy. But all in all, still a very good episode. I still rather enjoyed it. I still look forward to seeing what other people think of it. And, yeah, that's going to be all for this week. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode and the commentary and everything else. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.